Matthew said, Demarcus, that when pre-snap, he had no expectation of actually throwing that ball. At what point do you realize this thing is coming my way? And how did you play the defender? Matthew said you held him off until the last second with what your body language was.
Well, I just got my release. I usually release inside on that play call to make him think it's low cross, and then he was playing like he thought it was a run. So I guess Matthew had a great fake with the running back, and I was able to get on top of him. I beat him by like five yards, and Matthew saw me coming out of his rollout, and he gave me a chance. He put it up.
What's your guys' mentality as an offense when you get the ball and have possession like that, knowing that you've got a chance to win it with the ball in Nine's hands?
It's our turn, man. The defense did a great job giving us a stop, giving us the ball back. It's our turn to go put points on the board. It was either score, get 3 points, and end the game, or not leave it up to the kicker. So we was trying to just get a touchdown so it could be over with.
To get a win like this in such a roller coaster game, in a roller coaster season, and to be at the center of it, what does that feel like?
It feels awesome, man. The guys know what we're capable of. We go out every day and train hard, just like every other team. The start of our season didn't seem so good, but right now we're starting to put weeks together, weeks and weeks, and it's looking pretty good for us right now.
One-handed catch. In your mind, are you saying, I got to just do this one-handed? Can you describe that?
No, like she said, Matthew, I was trying to hold just trying to hold the guy out because he was kind of catching up. Williams pretty fast, so he was catching up to the ball because the ball, it takes a little bit of distance for it to get to me. So he was catching up, so I was like, all right, let me just stick my arm out. He held, and he was starting to hold on to my arm, so I only had one arm to try to make a play. So that was just kind of how that happened.
You said last week when we were talking about Puka and Cooper and the fact that you had 2 touchdowns, that you're a pretty good player yourself. Do you feel like you're kind of cementing that week by week?
No, man. I'm just saying we all able to make plays. Like Tyler came in and made a play, a great play. Tutu, he threw the ball to Tutu the play after that, and I was literally the next play after that. So it's like we all able to make plays. That's basically what I'm saying. Nobody's over anybody. Nobody's better than anybody in our room. We all win the same game. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, we needed a lot of plays to be made tonight for it to go that way. It wasn't just me just making the game-winning play that won us the game. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that.
You have 5 touchdowns this season, which is now a career high for you. What has this last stretch, 4 games, felt like for you?
Man, just honing in on the details, just locking in on trying to win the game and help the team win. So it's like, just go out and practice hard, do everything you got to do, give guys confidence in you so you can keep getting ops like that for sure.
Demarcus, we're up high behind glass in the press box, but still we can feel when Matthew switches into that one headspace that you guys know very well at this point. When you're in it, when you're on the field, how tangible does that feel? What does that feel like for you guys?
It feels amazing to know, you know what I'm saying? You saying confidence-wise, you can see them people.
Darkness mode.
Yes. I mean, you sometimes you got to go to that mode, sometimes the game isn't going how you want it to, and you got to switch the gear, switch it up, and be like, man, all right, we got to lock in, you got to hone in right here in the huddle. We just hey, we need this right now. Right now, it's not later, we got to do it right now. So it's like everybody get into that dark space, but that's what it takes to come out and win games for sure.
Speaking of dark spaces, did you have anything to say to Puka when you came in the locker room, or any advice for him in terms of what happened with him tonight?
Oh, no, man. It's just emotions, man. You just got to, stay locked in. Stuff like that does hurt the team because we rather have him out there instead of inside the locker room waiting on us to come in. So he knows what he got to do, the emotions got the best of him at that point for sure.
You mentioned the slow start to the season, 3 straight wins now. Has anything felt different about the preparation or mindset the last 3 weeks, or is this more like a culmination of 9
I
weeks
think
of
it's
work?
just the combination of coming off of that bye week, man, and everybody just honing in, knowing that we got to win games, or the season won't end how we want it to. You know what I'm saying? We'll just keep going down that road of losing games, but once we came out and just got that first win, now we stacking wins on wins, and that's what we're looking forward to. I don't think it's a different preparation. I think it's just honing in on the details more so to say, and locking in more about what we got to do to win games. So I think that's what it was.
Matthew, can you take us through those last 2 throws?
Yeah. Well, the last 3, the first one was dicey too. Obviously, I thought TJ did a great job on the first one. Getting in front of Reek there, that was tough. I didn't have any other options, and it was great to, for him to come through and make a big play. And then Tutu ran a great route. from my right to my left, throwing, basically a deep comeback off of a keeper, and he did a great job separating and making that play. And then the next one, I didn't think I was throwing that ball pre-snap, but sometimes those things happen. You get out clean, and D-Rob does a hell of a job, winning at the point and then holding them off and catching it.
Yeah, it just, I know it's a different situation, obviously, when they're bringing that pressure like that, and then you're throwing a ball to the top of a route that you're maybe not usually throwing to. It reminded me back of postseason 2021. Is there any similarities at all?
Probably the closest one to it would be last year at the Giants. I hit D-Rob on a high corner versus a pressure look. But that's where I was trying to think about. I was talking with Rags, our QB coach, trying to figure out the last time I threw a high corner for a walk-off. I think it was my rookie year, first win with the Lions against the Washington team. Way back in the day to Will Heller. I love that shout out. But it's been a while.
Matthew, when your defense stopped them on fourth down in overtime, can you describe what kind of pick-me-up that was for the offense?
I mean, they did it the whole day, right? I mean, it was unbelievable. I thought our defense was fantastic. We always talk about make them snap it one more time, and they were the epitome of that today, right? A couple times they get down there in the low red, and Kam does a hell of a job, getting 2 turnovers, taking one back. Play of the day was him re-recovering his own fumble in the end zone. No, our defense played fantastic. What a up and down game, right? Our defense getting turnovers. We got down there and didn't score a touchdown from the 1. We had a punt block. It was a crazy one. It was all over the place. It took a lot of mental fortitude and strength and belief in each other to win that, and that's what it takes, and we have that, so that's great. So, we lose Puka in the game, Rob goes out. I mean, it was just all sorts of things we had to overcome, and we were able to do it.
Earlier in the season, you pointed out that other than the Arizona game, they had been one-score games. How does it feel to win one of those games, and do you see growth from the start of the year to now?
Yeah, I do. I still think, the first half on offense, we didn't play well at all. We just missed assignments and physical errors, all the things that can go wrong kind of did. And we had to, come in here at halftime after losing a little bit of momentum right there before the half. Tough, little 2-minute sequence there for really both sides of the ball. Regroup and understand that we're still in the ball game. Got to go out there and make the plays that we know we can make, and we were able to do that enough, in the second half as a team to, give us the victory. And that's what it takes sometimes. Not every time you're going to come out and play lights out football and the score be 35-32 or whatever it is. It's going to be tough, grinded out games, especially on the road against a really good team and tough crowd. So it was nice to get the win.
All you needed in that situation was a field goal to win it, but your attitude seems to be can you take us through what your attitude is in that situation?
Yeah, I want to do whatever I can to help our team win. And to be honest with you, that was as good a matchup as we had on that play. But like I said, I wasn't planning on shooting that one out there pre-snap, and I got the edge clean. Coop did a hell of a job getting me the edge, and had a little bit of time, and it just kind of popped, and was able to throw it out there, and he made a hell of a catch. I heard he caught a one-handed, huh?
Have you seen that?
I have not, but when I threw it, the body language from D-Rob, I was like, oh no, I underthrew it. I thought I might have underthrown it just from his body language. He did such a great job holding him off and then, making the play.
Matthew, when something like this happens with Puka, we talked earlier this week about channeling his emotions and learning how to do that. What do you say to him? What was your...
He's a smart and aware kid. I'm not worried about Puka. Obviously, that's nothing that he wants to do. He doesn't want to not be able to be out there and play with us and all those kind of things. It's a little bit of a frustrating start to the game, and that guy made a hell of a play on that ball. And sometimes emotion gets the best of us, but I got total trust and confidence in his ability to respond and understand. Those are the things that we can't do, and as hard as that is sometimes, to walk away from those things, you got to do it. And I got no problems with how he will be moving forward.
Did you guys just walk into a locker room where he's going nuts in here by himself?
He did. He was pretty one of the first guys to dab me up, so I was cool with that. He was so fired up for us to get that win. Obviously, I'm sure he was sick about not being out there, but it'll be good to have him back.
After the last game, we were talking about Cooper and Puka so much, and Demarcus kind of made a comment in jest, I'm a pretty good player too. What's your kind of read on him in terms of...
I think that's pretty good. That's an understatement to me. I think D-Rob's a hell of a player. He's a joy to be around. He's loves the game of football, loves being, a teammate in this locker room. That's first and foremost. And then when you go out there on Sundays and watch him make the plays that he makes, his first touchdown catch, I think the guy fell down. I mean, he just dusted him. So he's a problem in man-to-man, and he does a hell of a job for us. So we all feed off of his energy. A lot of times he's, a spark plug for us, and he was again tonight.
I'm sure you've been asked many times about Matthew in the fourth quarter and overtime comebacks. What is your reaction when he has the ball in that situation?
You just feel good about it. You feel good about, Niner being able to do something with it, and the confidence that we have, and the urgency for guys who like, man, guys want to go make plays for him, and know that he's going to be back there fighting for us, and he just he continues to do that. I think there's some stuff there even at the end of regulation, that 2-minute drive end of regulation, that you're like, man, there's some stuff that you want to be on the P's and Q's on for him, but he did a great job as he has been doing. He did a really good job today.
He said
This game went up, down, up, down. A lot of young teams would have, for lack of a better word, kind of imploded. In real time, what was it like not to see them get caught up in the mistakes?
Yeah, I think that's it's really cool to see that, and we've got a lot of guys that are younger, but are a lot of guys that went through some of this stuff last year. Younger guys that went through it and been through a tough start to the season, having to respond, and what that means from in the big picture and how that translates into the small picture of being able to play in and play out. And then this next rookie class that comes in has those guys to look at as well. Like, hey, this is just how we operate. There's going to be highs, there's going to be lows, and I thought the defense did an unbelievable job today. Being able to respond to stuff. There was some stuff they give up some chunk plays and some stuff they want back. But man, I thought overall they just continue to fight, continue to put us in positions as an offense, and we want to obviously go back and watch the film and want to be able to capitalize on that, play complementary football with each other. But I thought the guys did a great job.
Matthew said he thinks the last time he might have had a walk-off on a corner route was his rookie year. Do you believe him?
I do, but I would never doubt Matthew. Whatever. I'm sure he knows it all. He's probably got the the temperature and humidity and everything all dialed in. So.
Cooper, you're playing back in Seattle for the first time in 3 years. How does it feel to be back in front of friends and family here?
It's great, man. There's nothing like stepping off the plane in the Pacific Northwest. The air's just different up here. A little crisp, nice little. It's something different up here. So I love being up here. Love playing. Great stadium. Obviously the fans are make it a really cool environment. So yeah, it's always fun being up here.
We're obviously in the other overtime situation you guys faced this year. That sense of almost helplessness watching that unfold at the end of the game, but then this time 4th and 1, this young defense gets a stop, and what's that like for you watching them grow up?
Yeah, that's huge, and I think the big thing is we talked about being process over results, and I think we got to also be able to say, hey, you guys do everything you can to make this happen. There's things that you are going to give up. There's plays that you want to make, and just even looking back on the Detroit game and saying, hey, look, is there stuff that we can fix? Yes. Is there stuff we can fix in this game? Yes. And let's just take this and know, hey, we got it done today. And let's be pumped about the work that we did to make this happen, but also be critical of ourselves and be able to learn from these things. It's a lot more fun learning from these ones where you find a way to win, but it doesn't, that doesn't forgive you. I guess that's not the right word, but it doesn't forgive you for the mistakes that we made as well. And there's some stuff that we can learn from, and but there's awesome Steelers guys to get that stop, and give us an opportunity to go down there and win the game.
Can you elaborate a little bit on process over results, what that means?
Yeah, I think it's just that that you come that defense. You get to 4th down. There's some plays in that drive. You jump off sides. You give the offense a free play. You go down, and then defensively they respond. You get 3 pretty good plays in a row, stops. Gets to 4th and short, and 4th and short just ends up being the difference. What is 1 yard in 1 yard in the NFL is someone reaching the ball out, and so there's these minute the game's decided on a razor sharp edge, and you're going to say, well, one thing going one way or another might determine the result at the end of the day. But we play a game that is at the end of the day a 0 or a 1. You either won the game or you lost the game. But there were 60, 70 plays that happened before that. And let's not forget that those 60, 70 plays are a process, are part of this whole thing. And being able to learn from all those things as well, not just saying, well, just because we got the win means we did everything right. Or just because we got the loss means we did everything wrong. There's really good and bad and all that stuff. So we try to take that approach to things.
Can you take us to the end of the play? McVay mentioned, like, very briefly he was going to give you a hard time just for the end of the play.
Oh, yeah. So it's crazy because we made a point of emphasis in the meeting on Friday about dropping the ball before you get to the end zone. So I wasn't sure where I was in the end zone, but I was thinking like, dang, most of the time they probably be running thinking they got in the end zone. So I dropped the ball. I made sure to run to it and pick it up before I did anything else. So, yeah.
When was the last time you returned an interception that far? Is that the longest in your career at any level?
Yeah, we were just talking about that. I had one in college 2 years ago, and it was 100 yards, so pretty close, yeah.
Did you hear that this was a franchise record for longest interception return for a touchdown?
I couldn't hear nothing. I was tired, yeah.
Describe from your eyes what you saw and when you knew you were going to score.
When I picked the ball up and seen nobody in front of me, yeah, and then when I seen BY kind of make that block, I knew it was nobody else catching me. And then they didn't have DK on the field, so I didn't have to worry about them running me down.
But also, I mean, at that time to have that touchdown, it was really a huge momentum change. What did it feel like to be the center of that?
Just another thing in practice. That's all it was. We had those same scenarios. We call them mamba periods, and you just got to make them plays. Yeah.
Cam, Sean McVay talked in the press conference about how even though your role had diminished a little bit over the last couple of weeks, that you prepared and that you were ready for this moment. What was that process like for you, and how gratifying to make those splash plays when your number was called?
Just big shout out to Coach Beak and Coach AP. Those guys, even though, like you said, my role was diminished and I kind of, had less of a role, less playing time. They told me not to be down on it. You're a rookie. It's gonna come with ups and downs, and just get back in the playbook. There was nothing they said I did wrong for real. It was just kind of them kind of mental plays. Just some rookies have, but just stay grinding. And we just met extra, just met more. So when my opportunity did come, I was able to shine.
After making the big return, a lot of guys I think might be satisfied with that's a heck of a play. But can you take us through the second one and what you were thinking, how that unfolded?
Yeah, first, every time that pops in my mind, every time I do catch a pick, Ed Reed at Miami always told me, if you catch one, why not? It's not illegal to catch another one. So I try to go out there and catch as many as I can. I want to go out there with 8 to 10, But the play thought on that one was, all props to Q. It's just one of those things, you just in the moment, he telling me, watch your guy, just watch your guy. And as he slide back and, he just capitalize on mistakes and, threw the ball and I was able to catch it.
How do you explain that game?
A whole lot of back and forth. The big thing on defense, we're a young defense. We got to limit some of the dumb mistakes early on, the jumping off sides. And, that starts up front with me, Kobe, and, the other guys. But, we got it together and, it came up in the big moments and, we started to shine.
One of those big moments, obviously, was in overtime. As crazy as that game was, to get that stop on 4th down. Can you describe that?
Yeah, I know. Same thing. We got a dumb penalty and, they got down there and, we just all out there talking to each other, buckle up, let's go, make this stop, We're a young defense. We're coming together. I think that's shined tonight. Just the way everyone came together, everyone communicating on the field. It was cool. It was really cool to see that happen for us. We're working really hard.
7 sacks today, 2 of them by you. That's a season high collectively as a defense. Just what did you like about what you guys were doing as a pass rush tonight?
Yeah, I think it's something that's kind of grown the whole season. The guys that go out there on 3rd down and rush the pass. I think we've consistently gotten better, and it starts in practice and in the meeting room, just communicating, seeing things, and it shined tonight. A year later, Jared Verse is still. A year later, Jared's still trying to steal sacks from me. There he is. There he is.
Braden, in week 1 overtime against Detroit, another tough crowd. Obviously, they ran the ball a certain way in overtime against you guys. So to get that stop after Seattle opened the overtime period, trying to do that, was that cathartic for this group in a way?
I'm not really sure what cathartic means, but yeah, I think just based off the context, yeah, I'm assuming, we just had to buckle up, and that was a big thing. We remember that, the Detroit game, and they ran down the field on us, and they scored, kind of easily. So, being put down in that situation down, I think it was like inside the 30, inside the 20, in the deep red zone. It was time to buckle up, and I'm just really proud of the guys who were out there.
Sean was talking about how, it felt like the offense gave the defense a lot of reasons to be upset or just kind of bummed out that the play wasn't reciprocal. Like, why? How did you guys just kind of keep the focus on what you had to do instead of what was going on the other side of the ball?
And I think it goes hand in hand. I mean, we made a ton of dumb mistakes too that put the offense in some bad situations. But that's how there's ups and downs in games. You got to play off each other, including special teams. Everyone's going to make mistakes on the field, but it's who's going to fight the adversity. And I think back and forth on offense and defense. When we had to make plays, we made them tonight, and that's what made it count.
How would you describe how you guys as a unit have grown since the start of the season?
I think the film doesn't lie. We made an emphasis early on in the season after we gave up, however many rushing yards it was. We got to be a team that stops the run to earn the right to, play on third down. And I think we made that known tonight. We stopped the run early on. We forced them to pass in situations, and finally the sacks are starting to come. Our coach talks about it all the time. Sacks come in bunches, and we just got out there. We stopped the run, and we were able to get after the quarterback.
Were you surprised that they went for it on fourth down rather than kicking a field goal in overtime?
Honestly, I didn't really know what was going on. I was like, whoever comes out here, we're ready to ball. But I think we got kind of excited when they brought that offense out there and they tried to get into big personnel out there in a short yardage situation. I think we kind of all embraced it and was like, yeah, let's go. Run that ball, bring it.
So were you alone watching? Were you pacing? What was
Yeah, it was. They got the Seattle broadcast going up here with the Fox NFL game, so I'm like here in the Kam Kinchens pick, the announcer's screaming no, and I'm screaming yes, and so it was interesting in that aspect. But just pacing, and then seeing guys make plays. TJ coming in with that one across the middle and snatching it from Woolen over there, so that one had me hooting and hollering, and then seeing Kyron being able to pick up in this overtime and us being able to move that line of scrimmage, and then especially with D-Rob. There was a police officer in here, and we were chatting for a little bit, but I may have overreacted and caught him a little off guard. But man, to overtime one-handed catch like that it brought me out of my seat.
What did Sean?
Right there, that's the one you were watching?
Yeah, it's hard to see. I'm like standing over here by somebody's locker, like up on the chair, but it was crazy.
What did Sean say to you?
He just told me that it's a learning moment and to be ready to go to practice.
What did it say to you about him and the reaction he had?
I guess I'm not sure. I know, Coach, that he trusts me and we have the ability. I mean, yeah, it's a learning moment for me. I guess just trying to be more aware of myself in the moment and like he always says, and being like how to respond instead of react. And that's one thing that
Have you ever been ejected ever? And B, what did you tell the guys when they came in?
I was the first one to be able to accept them and then telling them that this is a learning experience. But that was the first thing D-Rob said to me after I was punching him and excited and screaming for his touchdown. He said, "Hey man, we need you out there." So just to learn from this.
Have you in high school, college, ever been ejected?
No. So this is my first time. Don't plan on doing it again. I'm sure the NFL will be sending a bill my way.
You'll be obviously getting a note from the league, maybe a fine. But did the team talk to you at all about anything moving forward, or is this just you guys are going to just leave this in this moment?
I think just leaving this in this moment and being able. This is something that I'm aware of my actions and how that can affect the team and not being able to be out there, but also aware of the guys and being able to be excited for them and being able to get this dub as well.
Did you hug the police officer?
No, he didn't want that. But he was in Seattle for 30 years.